And I made this. It's Assemble. It's a community space for arts and technology, and we serve as a platform for artists, makers, and technologists to come and share their expertise, to offer experiences for experiential learning, opening up creative processes, and building confidence through making. I'm not the only person who works on this. There's a lot of people. We, at Assemble to assemble, and now I can drop the mic. But, so we're coming together to make things. I've always been making things and breaking things, it seems, and been really resourceful. Ever since I was little, I used whatever I had around me to make something. Story that I have been told many times to be an example of my creativity was when my grandmother, little Nonna, my Italian immigrant grandmother, was watching me, did some other stuff. I was in the playpen. She goes downstairs, come back up, and I had made a mural by sticking my hands into my diaper and putting it all over the walls. Resourceful. So creativity, as you've heard many other people like Sir Ken Robbins and others say, like creativity, we are almost born with it. It's not something that you can be really taught. It's just helping to showcase what you've got. So, like, I make things, and then learning how I learn things is really important, and I'm sure you've all learned things in different ways. I'm more of a visual and kinetic, so like you're gonna see me move around, but I have to move, I have to make things. And knowing that I was a visual and kinetic learner, architecture kind of found its way into my life. And making, using my everyday in every way also became a big part of my life. So making the vernacular spectacular. We've all got everyday things that we can shift the perspective. So as a freshman architecture student, in the first week of classes, everyone's nervous and it's crazy, what are we gonna do? My teacher took us to the university center and we were watching some monks finish a sand mandala. And if you're familiar with this, it takes a very long time. That is sand. Sand. Little tiny particles of sand in very intricate designs. And they were just finishing it up, and then all of a sudden, what happened, they pushed all the sand in the middle and destroyed it. And my teacher said to us, this is what architecture's like. Some money in college, like thinking, oh, wait, architecture, it's like standing up forever. But it's not. You're making something to then be given to others. When they push the sand into the center, they then give it away in little bags after they sang a prayer on it. And so everyone can walk away with that same beauty, but in a new construction with new opportunity. So that was pretty important in how we go forth from here. Fast forward, undergrad, did that. Went on to grad school, did that. Recession happened, did that. And I found myself working on a project where I could work with kids in South Central. And a friend of mine had a free class, went in, started teaching kids about architecture. And yes, we learned about some of the awesome monuments like Chichén Itzá and the Parthenon versus the Pantheon, but also understanding their own environment and really focusing on how they can change the world themselves. So in South Central, as you can imagine, there's a lot of bars on their windows and it's not safe. And that's something that they don't have to accept. We, right now in this room, are surrounded by a bunch of rules that someone else has made. Now these rules, or rule sets, embed themselves into a red carpet, a Helvetica font maybe, a t-shirt, a chair, lighting. Everything was made up in our world by someone else, unless, well, we'll get into the biological corn. It's kind of made up too, but everything in our world was made up by someone else, and you can do that too. So don't feel hindered by the particles and fibers or bits and bytes, and just helping these kids to not accept what they saw every day. Taking that forward, created a place called Assemble, where some of these things can happen. Obviously, I didn't make this sign, but the grammar is great. So creativity is everywhere. But at Assemble, we are not just doing classes and stuff. We want to learn from our experiences. So every month we have a different artist, maker, technologist showcasing in our space. We have them then, we're having workshops and learning and other things happening. You're doing homework help while there's stuff about watershed on the walls. What? And then also incubating your ideas. So if you do have a robot that you'd like to test out with a bunch of kids in Garfield, you can come and maybe do a workshop, and then they can tell you how much you need to improve that. Yes, the honesty is amazing. But this cycle of ideas and understanding that process, we bring in different people who can share their expertises. Social interaction is hugely important, and we all have some sort of expertise. We all have our experiences we can share. We are all experts for one thing or another. You don't have to be a doctor to be a 14-year-old kid who knows how to hack Minecraft. And I'm sure you all do, right? Minecraft, anybody? Or having a 15-year-old kid teaching Scratch class to kids because, well, I don't have time to learn it, and they know all the tricks. So helping people to share what they know and be proud of it. We also focus on STEAM. I'm sure you've heard about this before, but STEM is really popular. White House has all sorts of stuff about it. How we see this is a little bit different than one might think. So science, we think about the world that you see and you observe around you. Biology, you open up my stomach and you see what's in there. Awesome. And math is how we can start to prove things, right? Graphs, metrics, understanding how much time it actually takes to do something. Engineering is when we start changing everything. So if I'm going to be a biological engineer, I'm going to engineer you a better liver. Pretty cool. Or I'm going to engineer you a better bridge out of this material science that I'm taking and transferring. Technology, and TED, the T stands for technology, is the stuff that we make. Technology isn't just things embedded with electricity, but it's a fork. Did you know someone had to invent a fork? Or a pencil? How many of you have pens in your hands right now? Someone made that up. Someone invented it. So it's the stuff, right? The stuff that we make. And art, how we see it, is really how we communicate. Even with Rothko, right? There's just like big blue and big orange swatches of color. I don't really understand. But it's still trying to communicate something. Something that might not be able to be translated into words or other things, and just color swatches. What we like to say is, if you can't draw, how can you draw a physics diagram? So yeah, putting these things all together, and of course, with hands-on notions, so making. And I'm sure like some of you have heard about the whole maker movement and what Dale Doherty has been up to for maybe the past 10 years, but really getting kids hands-on project-based learning, doing it. If it doesn't light up, obviously it doesn't work. Are you going to get an F? No, just resolder it. So we try to do this through many different things, like learning parties, having kids learn how to sew, giving them the tools to use their creativity tool to start making stuff, laser cutting, everything, really happy faces, and maybe even at homework help you can find a LED unicorn, such as Bailey has creatively made here today. But also giving kids agency, again, changing the world around them. So giving them the opportunity to see, what is Garfield? What does this look like? How can I change this? And this is some kids working on a map. So a quick project to describe that we did during our Saturday Crafternoons, which are geared to 5 to 10-year-olds. They worked with a local carpenter, Ben Johnson, and built things, right? Real tools, real hammers, real nails, real recycled materials, to then one day make a little free library that is standing in the neighborhood and making an actual difference. Everyone can come, it's free. It's a little free library. And You know, we didn't come up with this idea. We worked with the Garfield Community Action Team, brought the artists, brought the kids, and made something happen. We were the platform for something else to happen. We were the pushing the sand in there and letting it go. So giving kids a place to come and make, and grown-ups too, to change their environment. We're a 100% volunteer-run organization. So like I said, it's not just me. There's a lot of people, and the team is really important. The slide didn't work. But that's okay. So what this is supposed to say is, what will you make today? And it's a quote by Massimiliano Vignelli, who is a designer. And you know, like, making is really important now, but what I'd like to say is really, what will you be today? So what will you become? So don't just think about what you've done, but what's the future, right? What's your pocket of sand? And we like to challenge people to think, and hopefully say one day at Assemble, I am a scientist, I am a technologist, I am an engineer, I am an artist, and I am a mathematician. So you can be what you want to be, and you can make what you want to make. And that's the real true freedom. And hopefully one day, I will be able to push my sand in to the middle and say, hey, assemblers, what do you want this to be? And they'll be able to run with it like crazy. And I'd like to end with a little song, if that's okay. So this song's by Cat Stevens, and I'm just going to sing a little bit to you. I might cheat a little bit and see the words. But it starts off, well, you can sing out, and you can be free, free, 'cause there's a million ways to be. You know that there are. And then we're going to skip some. You can do what you want. The opportunity is on. And if you find a new way, you can do it today. You can make it all true, and you can make it undo. So true freedom is making and being what you want to be. So make it, break it, and give it to somebody else. Thanks.